Before I tell you what happened, I have to give you some information about myself. I am a 28-year-old beekeeper who plays Roblox. I create many different types of groups in the medieval fantasy genre. Okay, now I can tell you the story. This all began when I was going back and forth my two different groups. One was an orc-themed Roman group, and the other was a dwarf group. I chose to focus on my dwarf group, so I put on my dwarf outfit. I chose to also LARP as a dwarf king named Caritas Sigmund Frosthammer. While I was in my game, my wife, who is black, came to kiss me goodnight. I looked back and waved her out with her boyfriend. Her boyfriend was kind enough to let me have the kids for the night. So I took this to my advantage. I told my kids they were going to have to patrol. It was a weekend after all. No school in the morning, and 1 a.m. is usually ripe for activity. Me and my two mutts sticked around, and I explained to them the difference between niggers and black people. I told them, as long as they acknowledged the white man's burden, they weren't niggers. Anyway, they fell asleep. But this is when something freaky started happening. I noticed at the top left of my screen someone kept trying to join. He did this 5 times until he stopped. Okay, that was weird. But then my game crashed. I audibly screamed, even though it didn't really matter. Woke my kids, I rejoined the game, but that is when something weird happened. When I joined, it wasn't my usual dwarf fort. Instead, everything was gone. It was just a base plate. In the middle was a winking red person with his dick out. That was when I got the DM. This person wasn't on my friends list or in any of my discords, so I'm unsure how he got my cord. His name was Ugork Will Never Succeed, and had a profile picture of a realistic Squidward frowning. He said, "Where are the Quartet videos?" I did not say anything. I went to go check out Alpine Castle, but he pinged me and said, "Don't go to Alpine Castle, I will kill your children." Holy shit, this is getting freaky. How did he know? Was this Tyrone playing a prank? I quickly blocked him and went back into my dwarf game to see if everything was fine. Everything returned, except the sky was pitch black and there was a fog. The ambience was terrifying. That was when I started to cry. My two kids were lynched inside the game by the winking red man. Fucking stupid nigger children. I will rape your wife next. I ran out of my apartment and went to the motel I knew my wife was staying in. I banged on the door and forced my way in. "Hey yo, white boy, what you doing here?" Tyrone was furious and gave me a black eye. I left the motel, and I tried using my phone to call the police for my missing black children. My phone was of course out of battery. I went back home and checked everywhere. I plugged my phone back in, but that was when I got the ping. I looked to my computer monitor when I saw my computer was being flooded by Squidward laughing gifs. I looked back at my DMs and saw 666 replies of the same Squidward guy saying, "Why you block me? Why you block me?" My vision started to black out as I saw the last message. "See you in hell, LOL." I woke up and found myself in the Roblox game. I wasn't blocky, I was my usual self. In front of me were my two children. I cut the rope and buried them. I put a tombstone there and it read, "In memory of Maluak's finest warriors, sons of Sigmund Frosthammer." I shed a tear for my little niggers. That was when the figure stepped out of the fog. It was Squidward and the winking red man. I knew they were out for my soul, so I challenged them to a duel of honor. However, they weren't having any of that. Squidward stripped me naked, and the red man took his dick out and started rubbing it against my butt. He was only starting to get hard, and I begged for my life. He then began to penetrate me as Squidward laughed. All I wanted was an active group. Please don't rape my butthole. If you are reading this, know that they left me in the dark. The world is getting smaller. Soon I will be falling endlessly in the Roblox skybox void. Please send help. Send help. Send help.